Greetings and salutations. This is Jason Silverain, and today I'll be taking a look at IndestructoTank. I've been wanting to cover this for a little while since its release on the 25th of May 2022. Unfortunately, my own workload and health issues did cause a bit of a delay in this, but this is one that's well worth waiting for. It is a bit of a classic. Now, the genre it is pretty much an ancient one that's hardly around nowadays, except in like small leftover flash games and also the occasional mobile game. But I was playing games like this back on the Atari, and I've always loved them. Now, IndestructoTank is essentially a fun little game where you're going across various terrains and the like, and you're just trying to destroy all of the enemy vehicles in your way. I mean, it's so simple. The developer is Antony Lavelle. He actually was one of the first full-time employees for Arma Games during the heyday of Flash, and was a major, driving force behind this one. And this is actually the second re-release of this game. It actually got kickstarted a while back, and it had an initial release back then, but now we get it in Gameboy form, as Incube8 have picked it up, and you'll see why I've been looking forward to doing this. Though before I continue, just a full disclosure, I was contacted by Incube8 about this game and its release, and I was given a free copy of the ROM. But other than that, my views are my own, and as always, I try to be impartial. Focusing on the game itself, this is actually one of the cheaper releases by Incube8, available at $34.99. Many of their other Game Boy games are much higher at $49.99 and even going up to in the mid-60s. But you get a sealed box, a clear cartridge protector, instruction booklet and sticker sheet. And as you can see, it's all very nicely put together. It does look like a classic Game Boy game. Or if you're like me and kind of prefer your ROMs and digital editions, that's available for $4.99. Now I'm sure you're sick of me rambling on, so let's get to see the game itself. Now, these are relatively janky chiptunes. I do like it, but at the same time, it's not the smoothest music we've heard, is it? We have options of contrast if you want that real classic look, but I'm going to go with the Game Boy one. We'll go in for the start. Whee! There we go. Now, if you've played the original, you may recognise this. As we go through, and we're trying to destroy all of these opponents. Now, we will get more upgrades. Ooh, goodness me. And various weapons, and other things like that. All that good stuff. Wonderful. Now, what do we want? Bouncer, planter, seeker, miner. Well, frequency increased. Now, I didn't actually get the chance to actually play a lot of the original. Oh, goodness me. Oh, goodness. Come on. And it's a good laugh. This is just silly. In the old classic sort of Atari era, you'd probably be on this kind of screen, and you'd be playing one of these helicopters, flying side to side, trying to, well, there we go, trying to shoot down all the helicopters and the like. Here, we are playing probably the world's most bouncy tank, which doesn't seem to have a gun. And its main offense method is yeeting itself into oblivion. Oh no, I've only got 12 XP. I do not have enough. No. No, I... There we go. Now, this is playing on the normal mode. You did see there is a harder mode. And it is very arcadey, and it's really designed for kind of a quick pick up and go. Alright, landing. We've got a little bit of XP. Let's get a few more things in there. And how many games level you up by gaining more enemies on the screen? Go away! In fact, one may ask, how can one die in this game? And I suspect it's the fuel meter down there. So the more we're on the ground, well, the worse off we are. So we want to stay in the air and keep going. But we have to land if we want to level up. Oh, fuel low. That's fine. Let me land. Alright, we got lots of stuff to do now. So let's put some miners on there. And I'll keep going for now. Now, I will confess, when I got news of IndestructoTank, I have got it slightly mixed up with a very similar game of its era when I initially started playing it. But it's been so long that I've got a big smile on my face playing this. Now, gameplay-wise, as you can see, it's a pretty basic loop. And the astute amongst you may notice that when I get hit, even though I don't take any damage, I gain no XP. And I feel like this game, the main point where you start failing is when you start running out of XP because you can't combo enough to get more enemies involved. Or alternatively, well, you just fill the screen so much with enemies you can't get back to the surface in order to sort of refuel. Whee! There we go. Now, wham, wham. I'm going to see what happens when we run out of fuel, because I am curious to see what kind of animations would be available. Because I've played a very similar game to this, and to be honest, when IndestructoTank was made the first time, it's unsurprising that there would be a lot of copycats. And the one I played was very much like this, except you also had like a little gun. And one of the things you wanted to try and do was make sure that from the bouncing, you took a little bit of damage each time. So you had to keep buying upgrades and various odds and ends. And you'd have to power yourself up and try and earn as much money from destroying the opponents before your sort of armor ran out. So obviously each time you landed and got to various repair bays, well, that was how you kind of had this running cost of money and experience you had to sort of sell versus the amount that you'd use to actually level yourself up. Now, I'm having fun with this. It feels a little basic, and I imagine that if it comes with a small instruction booklet, that will probably help a new person playing it, because there's not really a clear goal other than bounce on the things and blow them up. Now, I'm not sure if I actually ran out of fuel there for a second, or if I managed to land just before it occurred. Go. We're on low fuel. And we're dead. There we go. final rank destroyed. But again, this is great for just a little bit of fun and a light pickup and just play during a lunch break. You got 10 minutes, you got 15 minutes, you just want to do something to distract yourself while you're on the bus or something like that. It's fun, it's cheap, cheerful as Game Boy re-releases go, and really I think whether or not this is a good game for you is all down to personal preference. Like, I could have fun with this, I would certainly play it on and off. I couldn't play it for hours. Obviously, eventually the gameplay loop you get a bit tedious, there's not enough music, and there's not really much change of background. It's one of those where potentially the Flash game evolved beyond what we see here, but when this was made, it was a challenge to see if we could take some of these games that have come back and then, well, port them almost backwards in time to what they would have been originally. And that's a good thing in my book. But thank you for listening to me today. I will catch you next time, and hopefully I'll have yet more re-releases for, and, well, new releases for these old consoles, which really deserve more of a lifeline.